at the Milk Market in downtown Denver. It is all local, all wonderful. There are 16 concepts under one roof. You can dine in, you can take out. It's a cool spot, and we're about to meet the man behind all of it, Frank Bonanno. Let's go inside. Handmade pasta, wood-fired pizza, fried chicken sandwiches, gelato, poke, bao buns, burgers, beer, wine, spirits. The list goes on and on of what you can find inside Denver's Milk Market. So how did this place come to be?
When we were initially going through this almost 4 years ago, we didn't realize that there isn't anyone who's opened a food hall that's owned and operated all by one chef or one group.
But hey, now there is, and it is the vision of almost 2 decades of inspired restaurants and concepts by Mr. Frank Bonanno.
In 2000, I opened up Mizuna, my first restaurant, so it's about 19 years old. 2 years later, I opened my second restaurant, Luca, which is still operating at 17 years old, named after my son. Then it was just a progression.
A progression we could talk about for ages, but bottom line, Frank, alongside superstar wife Jacqueline, have made a major impact on Denver dining over the years. And now with 11 restaurants and 27 total restaurant concepts, including the Milk Market, he's bringing a lot to the table.
I don't know if it's a legacy piece, but something that puts the stamp on what we've been doing over the past 18 or 19 years. I mean, if you look around, these are all things that we've done in our other restaurants, and we just kind of wanted to bring it under one roof.
Part of the recently renovated Dairy Block, Milk Market is located in the heart of the ballpark neighborhood. And why the name? Well, in the early 1900s, this was a dairy barn where milk was carted and distributed around the city. Now you'll find globally inspired cuisine that you can enjoy inside or take home to the family.
It's not a food hall. We like to think of it more as a market because you can come and shop. You can come and buy fish and dry-aged steaks, and you can buy pasta to take home, and all of these things are something we wanted to be more than just a food hall. We wanted it to be a total shopping experience. And I don't think you can achieve that if you're not all working together.
From bartenders to cooks and servers, it's a full team effort. But once inside, where do you even start?
I always suggest take a lap around. Don't stop at the ice cream place right away, but I'm so proud of our French dip. It's the same French dip we do at French 75, as I said, tying in all of our restaurants.
Order a beverage and walk around, try a specialty meat and cheese plate from S&G, maybe grab a slice from the engine room. Ooh, and the Cookie Monster gelato, that was such a fun treat. Come see for yourself. It honestly may be hard to choose what to eat and drink.
This is a really cool place to come and see that there's not much like it. There may be food halls and other things going on, but there isn't anything quite like this in Denver. I think the Milk Market is a mile-high must because it is unique. It's located in a historic area of Denver that just 6 years ago was dilapidated, undiscovered. You wouldn't have come here in a million years. But to see the growth of Denver and to be a part of this part of the city truly taking shape and growing, that's what makes me proud.
And with Denver's continuous growth and development, there is no shortage of amazing eats, shops, and spots to check out. And we think Milk Market is one not to be missed, which is why we call it a mile-high must. For more fun things to do in and around the city, visit 5280.com, thedenverchannel.com, and download our free app to your streaming device. I'm Katie LaSalle. Imagine a spot filled with games that take you back to your childhood, where kids can be kids, but adults, they can indulge in fun, food, and a variety of alcoholic beverages. Well, game on. Welcome to One Up. From pinball to skee ball to pop-a-shot and more, there are 3 The One Up locations in the Denver metro area: Lodo, Colfax, and Greenwood Village. And each spot will satisfy anyone's need for some good old-fashioned playtime with a twist.
I've always explained it as being able to raid your parents' liquor closet and go into the basement and play arcade games. And that's kind of what defined the One Up Lodo. This one's obviously above ground, and it's kind of like a giant playpen. You can be an adult, yet relive your youth and come and have fun.
It's a blast from the past. 30 pinball machines and over 60 arcade pieces. It's such a cool spot to bring the kids during the day, to take a date, or to hang out with friends.
There's something for everyone. If you're not into pinball and you're not into gaming, Skee ball's pretty easy. Everybody likes to shoot a game of basketball. So there's always something to do and some way to interact with you and your friends or the group that you come with.
And when you're not rocking out on Guitar Hero or trying not to get eaten in Pac-Man, the One-Up has a full-service bar and plenty of snacks on the menu.
You can also grab a slush puppy from the 80s and then add your choice of alcohol to it. And the food is just as unique.
We're talking a bacon cheeseburger on an inside-out donut. Or how about a hot dog wrapped in a potato loaded with all the good stuff? The menu is as unique as their game selection. Open 7 days a week, the One-Up is family-friendly from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. After 3, you will need to be over 21. It is truly a one-of-a-kind concept that has us feeling oh so nostalgic. So come play an old game, race around and try some new ones, and just have a good time embracing your inner big kid.
When people walk into the One-Up, I want them to feel like they've traveled back in time, yet still exist in the future. Like, this just didn't exist when we were kids, but now it's here to enjoy as adults.
We think One-Up is a mile-high must you have to check out. For more, visit 5280.com, thedenverchannel.com, and search for the free Denver 7 app on your streaming device. I'm Katie LaSalle. Deep-fried deliciousness, jelly-filled jolliness, gloriously glazed. We're not going to sugarcoat it because Voodoo Donut does it for you. Good things come in pink boxes. And when you come to Voodoo, you'll be blown away by just how good they are.
You got to come to experience it, right? We're a donut event, right? We do gourmet donuts in a wacky environment.
From Portland with love, Voodoo fit right in when they opened their first shop outside of Oregon right here in Denver back in 2013.
Portland and Denver are very similar cities. Kind of people are themselves and there's an embracing about being yourself. Denver's been really good to us and I think we've been really good to Denver. It's a great connection.
These popular pastries were the brainchildren of Kenneth Cat Daddy Pogson and Trace Shannon, who saw an opportunity to be the first donut shop in downtown Portland.
So it was really fun by these two wacky guys that were selling donuts by night and kind of working during the day. And they would go every night to the grocery store and just pull things off the shelf to put on top of donuts. Thereby you find a lot of our donuts that are uniquely different. The maple bacon bar was invented simply because Cat Daddy brought bacon in one day to work. And he threw it on top of a maple bar and thought, well, that's awesome.
Awesome it is. Bacon, cereal, sprinkles, cookies, not to mention the different fillings. Voodoo seems to have it all. With 52 different offerings and 10,000 customers a week, that's a lot of dough. But what's a good choice for a first-timer?
We have the Voodoo doll, right, which is kind of our claim to fame. But I think the most important for us would be the maple bacon bar again, because we're the originators of it. You may have tried it somewhere else, but you haven't tried it at Voodoo.
And have you ever met someone with the title of donut artist?
If you've seen our donuts, they're beautiful. And our decorators are truly artists.
The magic is in the hole, or is it in the air? When you walk into any of their open locations, the vibe is definitely something special.
We're unapologetically ourselves, right? We don't apologize for anything. We're kind of who we are. And I think in businesses today, we're super authentic. When you come to Voodoo, it's not about just going to a donut shop. It's about having an event, and it's worth the wait.
Open 24 hours a day with 2 locations in Denver. We say, go treat yourself at the Mile High Must that is Voodoo Donut.
We're not going to be judgmental on what donut you choose to buy. We're going to let you choose whatever you want. One, you want a dozen, it's all good by us. And so I think that's what people expect when they come to Voodoo, is when they enter those doors, they don't have to worry about anything that's happening in their lives. Come and treat themselves.
For more Mile High Must, download our app to your streaming device, visit 5280.com or thedenverchannel.com. I'm Katie LaSalle. Aspen Snowmass may be known for its world-class skiing, but its history and offerings go much deeper than just powder. With countless summer activities and iconic views, it's a must-visit any time of year. Just a 3.5-hour drive from Denver, or you can indulge a little with just under an hour-long flight. That's right, they have an airport you can fly into. Aspen Snowmass has 4 main mountains. Aspen Mountain, also referred to as Ajax by the locals, Buttermilk, Aspen Highlands, and Snowmass. But hey, you can't really go wrong anywhere you choose to go. You can find different styles of skiing and riding at the 4 mountains in the wintertime, or hike, bike, run, rock climb, fish, golf, horseback ride, take a hot air balloon tour. There's a lot to do, especially in the summertime, and so much to do in the surrounding area. Shop and dine at any season of the year at their world-class restaurants. You can also just relax and enjoy the mountain town oasis. A must-see spot in the area is the famous Maroon Bells. This iconic view of 214ers Maroon Peak and North Maroon Peak is spectacular and only a short shuttle ride to the viewpoint. Getting around is easy with free shuttle routes that will take you from trailhead to ski lift and everything else in between that Aspen has to offer. No matter what you like to do or what time of year it is, you can find something for everyone in Aspen Snowmass. We think it is a mile-high must. Over the past few years, the Rhino neighborhood here in Denver has experienced a lot of change. New restaurants, breweries, scooters. We're at Ironton Distillery and Craft House here in Denver, and this place is really a combination of the old and the new. It used to be an art studio and is now the passion project of 2 Colorado natives that we think is a mile-high must. Let's check it out. Inspired by the undeniable spirit of adventure in our colorful Colorado, Ironton Distillery is the passion project of Callan Romero and Robbie Adams.
The idea was just being outdoor influenced because we just come back from backpacking and then eventually just kind of evolved from there into a distillery.
And we found this awesome location here in Rhino and we just couldn't pass it up, so here we are.
The name also aligned with the history of the neighborhood, which was actually called Ironton back when the iron workers lived here. Then it was a creative art space and studio for decades, with the previous owner being a metal worker. You'll actually find some of his pieces scattered around the space. In 2018, the distillery was born with a focus on crafting cool Colorado spirits.
We're both very adventurous people, so we like to say that we create adventure-ready spirits.
So what's shaking with the liquor? Ironton produces everything from vodka, gin, rum, and whiskey to liqueurs and bitters. Head distiller Laura Walters came to Ironton from Stranahan's Whiskey, and she's pulling out all the stops with her concoctions.
So this is all coming off the still. It should be around 80 proof.
So how does this all work?
The distillation process works by separating molecules based on their boiling point. So you have different molecules coming off at different times. That's where we get our cuts from.
It's quite the process, so here's the basic gist of it all. They start with a recipe of grain. They malt the grain to turn the starches into sugars, add some water, add some yeast, let it ferment, then voila, you are making alcohol. Now once it's fermented, that liquid gets poured into this. It is called a still. Heat it up to the proper temperature, then the distillation process begins. Then here's the tricky part. Different types of alcohol evaporate at different temperatures. The first type, methanol. That's poisonous, we don't drink that, but Ironton uses it for cleaning purposes. The next part is ethanol. That's the body, the heart, the good stuff, what we want to drink. Then the third piece, the tail as they call it, that's scrapped. Ethanol is diluted, aged, flavored, and eventually poured into your glass.
Most days we'll brew and distill in the same day, so we'll be brewing a whiskey and distilling a vodka, and then we bottle maybe once a month.
Ironton also uses an array of local ingredients to enrich the flavors of their spirits.
If we want to make it a gin, we throw a bunch of botanicals in, goes through this still, and it makes gin.
Ironton offers a large list of cocktails at the bar, plus beer, wine, and pizza.
Our bartenders are friendly. you know, they can guide you through everything as far as, you know, not just giving you a cocktail, but explaining what we do here, making spirits. They can give you a background of those spirits.
Simple cocktails made with quality ingredients. Try the gin and tonic with seasonal garnishes that are actually picked from Ironton's own garden. The blueberry lavender spritzer, super refreshing, perfect for the patio. And their old-fashioned, it'll warm you up even on the coldest of days. Kids are welcome during the day. The place is super dog-friendly, filled with art, culture, history, and uniquely Colorado flavors. There's a lot to sip on at Ironton Distillery. This unique gem in the Rhino neighborhood is certainly a mile-high must. For more fun things to do in Colorado, visit 5280.com, thedenverchannel.com, and download our free Denver 7 app to your streaming device. We're excited to welcome you inside Vaninas Broken Italian, where you'll find modern Italian cuisine with a Colorado twist. Jake and Giovannina Linsenmeyer opened this passion project of theirs in 2018 in downtown Denver.
Italian's always been my favorite, and then when Jake and I got together, I realized that he had spent some time cooking in Italy and that was also his favorite.
And hence was born Giovannina's Broken Italian, breaking from the traditional mold of what you may expect from an Italian restaurant.
While we love red sauce, we're not a particularly red sauce restaurant. We can color outside the lines, cook outside the lines with that. Everything from, you know, we had our pizza oven specially designed by an Italian family in Northern California, but it's like no other oven. There's only one of them.
And that oven is cranking out some killer pizzas. We'll vouch for that.
We're able to do a lot of things that are different and maybe not super traditional, but everything's based in the philosophy of Italian cooking.
On the menu, expect lots of fresh produce, pastas, and an array of proteins. They're very vegetable focused on the lighter side, and they make all of their fresh pastas. There are also gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian options, plus some delectable desserts.
We spent quite a while working on our Parmesan souffle, which is very unique.
Yeah, so this is essentially an ice cream course and a cheese course in one dish.
A very beautiful looking cheese souffle, which looks extremely creamy. Cheers. Wow. Between the walnuts and the gelato and the creamy cheese souffle, this is something that is decadently special. Thanks, Giovannina's.
Kids are welcome. You can come for date night. Oh, also, don't leave without checking out their downstairs lounge and wine cellar. This building used to be an old cigar factory, and the design pays homage to the history of the space. They even rehung the structural steel and rebuilt the original freight elevator into a table. Cool, right? And one of the original marquees for the Denver Opera House is hung right behind the bar.
Whether you're, single and just want to sit at the bar in shorts or jeans, or come in for a special event, or the date table, we call it, right over there in the front window. It's a very welcoming place.
Giovannina's feels like home. We come here and we're working all the time, but we can't seem to want to leave.
It's romantic, prices are fair, the bar program is extensive, and overall you'll encounter some unique, progressive, and lighter options, all driven by the seasons of the year. For more Mile High Musts, visit 5280.com, thedenverchannel.com, and download our free app to your streaming device to see many more awesome spots to check out around Colorado. I'm Katie LaSalle.
At iFly in Lone Tree, Colorado. This is Colorado's actually only indoor skydiving facility. Jay, have you done something like this before?
Nothing like it. Never jumped out of a plane, never done it indoor. I actually hear this is harder.
You hear it's harder. I've jumped out of an airplane twice, believe it or not, but never done anything like this. So we're here today to let you guys know exactly how this all works. Let's go check it out.
I'm ready.
Okay, high five.
It goes a little something like this. After you've arrived and filled out a waiver, you'll be taken to a classroom for a safety briefing where you'll learn all the hand signals you'll need to communicate with your instructor on your flight.
It's pretty hard to chat face to face when the wind's blowing by at 100 miles an hour.
Once you're briefed, it's time to gear up and head to the tunnel to fly.
Now, this is something that people weren't really meant to do, Birds were meant to fly, people weren't really meant to fly.
Jay and I had an absolutely amazing time, but it did take some getting used to.
At first, it's such a weird feeling, right? You're kind of just floating and you don't really know how. You think of the cues, keep your body straight, your knees bent.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I had no control in some moments and then absolute control in others, and then it would be gone or flash.
It's a very freeing experience. People come in, they are oftentimes worried about kind of being in the tunnel and everybody watching them, but once you actually get in and start flying around, everything just kind of goes away.
After we had a couple rounds under our belt, we put on the VR helmets. It was an exhilarating and immersive experience, taking us for a wild ride as a wingsuit skydiver.
I can't believe that people do that for real. So to experience it in virtual reality, I think is a lot safer and probably the only way that I'll do that ever. So that was great.
I think the next step is I have to go jump out of a plane, see how that goes, come back, and compare.
So how does this wind-filled wonder work?
There are basically 3 distinct columns. The center one is obviously our tunnel here. The outer columns are just going to be their giant open-air columns. The fans, contrary to popular belief, are actually in the top of the building. There's 4 of them total. There's 2 in each corner of the building. It pulls the air up, pushes it down into the basement, where there's really nothing in the basement. It's basically the entire footprint of this building. And then it pushes it back up into the center of the tunnel here and recompresses it into what's known as the inlet contractor. By pulling and pushing the air, we're actually creating the Venturi effect. So that's where we can get really high wind speeds inside the tunnel.
Flying at iFly was so much fun. Jay and I definitely recommend anyone and everyone to try this, and we can't wait to come back.
And rather than just coming in and doing a bucket list item, we want to get people excited to come back and really start learning how to fly.
Catch some air at iFly. We think this Mile High Must will blow you away.
This is something that everybody should experience at least once in their life.
For more Mile High Must, visit 5280.com, thedenverchannel.com, or download our Denver 7 app to your streaming device. I'm Katie LaSalle.